All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about the story of your brain, and really, its epic battle for focus in this crazy modern world. I mean, if you feel like your attention span is just constantly under attack, trust me, you are not alone. So we're going to uncover the forces that are hijacking your attention and lay out a clear path to get it back.
It's the question, isn't it? The one so many of us ask ourselves every single day. You've got important things you want to do, big goals you're trying to hit, but it feels like there's this invisible force just constantly pulling you away from what you're supposed to be doing. So what's really going on?
Okay, picture this. You know the scene. You've got your coffee ready, your laptop is open to that one important project, and you are ready to be productive. You're telling yourself, okay, this time I'm actually gonna get it done.
And there it is. The villain of our story makes its entrance. It's just a tiny little vibration, a small ping. It could be absolutely nothing. But that pull, it's almost magnetic. You just think, I'll just check it for a second. What's the harm?
And just like that, poof, the spell is broken. You look up at the clock, and a whole half hour has just vanished into this black hole of scrolling and tapping and swiping. The work, it's still there waiting, but your focus is long gone. Now, this is so important to understand. This is not a personal failure. You're not lazy, you're not undisciplined. This is a story about brain chemistry. Our brains have been, well, systematically rewired by the very technology we use every single day. So that brings us to what we could call the call of distraction. What is this incredibly powerful force that hijacks our attention so effectively? Well, it pretty much all comes down to one powerful little chemical in your brain. And that chemical is dopamine. Think of it as the neurotransmitter of craving and wanting. Our phones, our apps, they are an endless fire hose of easy dopamine hits, likes, notifications, funny little videos. And because of that, our brains get used to this super high level of stimulation, which makes real, deep, focused work feel incredibly, well, boring in comparison. And this right here, this just perfectly illustrates the battle your brain is fighting. On one side, you have the normal tasks, the things that take real effort and give you a delayed but meaningful reward. And on the other side, instant, effortless gratification. Chemically speaking, it's just not a fair fight. Oh, and it gets worse. Every single time you switch from your work to your phone and then back again, you're leaving behind something scientists call attention residue. It means a part of your mind is still thinking about that last email or that notification you just saw. This constant switching leaves your brain totally exhausted and prevents you from ever really hitting that state of deep focus. So this brings us to a really common trap, the myth of motivation. You know, we think, oh, if I just felt more motivated, then I could focus. But that is a losing strategy. You see, motivation is just an emotion. It's fleeting. It comes and it goes. Relying on it is like trying to build a house on sand. The real foundation for focus isn't a feeling, it's structure. It's all about the systems you create, the environment you control, and the habits you build day in and day out. Okay, so how does our brain, the hero of this story, start taking back control? How do we actually fight back? Well, it happens with a clear 5-step training plan. Here it is. This is the roadmap. Step 1, you gotta remove the easy dopamine that's fueling the distraction beast. 2, start using dedicated focus windows to build up your concentration muscle. 3, make distractions harder to get to by creating a little friction. 4, learn to actually embrace boredom. It's the gateway to creativity. And finally, number 5, build yourself a new focus identity. Let's zoom in on a couple of these. So let's talk about step 2, using focus windows. You don't need to try and focus for 8 hours straight. That's impossible. The goal is to work with intense, totally uninterrupted focus for just 25 minutes. It's a manageable sprint that proves to your brain that yes, you can stay on task, and that builds its endurance over time. And for step 3, all you have to do is think about friction. Instead of just relying on willpower, which we know doesn't always work, redesign your environment. If your phone is in another room, that impulse to just quickly check it is met with the actual effort of getting up and walking. That simple act also helps with step 4, by the way. It forces you to embrace a moment of boredom, letting your brain reset. And every time you resist that impulse, you reinforce your new focus identity, which is step 5. See how it all connects? When you actually commit to this kind of training, something really incredible starts to happen. Focus stops being this constant struggle, and it starts becoming your new superpower. But what does that journey actually feel like? So let's be real. The first few days, they're gonna feel hard.
Your brain is going to crave its usual distractions. But you have to stick with it. Because after just a week or two, you'll feel a genuine shift. And after about a month, the results will be undeniable. Your ability to concentrate will just be fundamentally different. And always remember this, nobody is born with perfect focus. It is not some gift that some people have and others just don't. It is a skill. It's a muscle that you build through consistent, intentional practice. And it's a power that you can absolutely cultivate for yourself. And that brings us to the end of our story, which is really just the beginning of yours. So, looking at this whole path, what's the very first small change you're going to make today to start reclaiming your own focus?